Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Big for One Gaming here. Welcome back to episode number 126 of Winning a National Championship with every team in the game. If you guys missed any of the episodes, up in the right-hand corner will be a playlist from episode 1 to 126. So if you guys are unable to watch those videos, I completely understand. Down in the description below will be a record of every team that we have done so far and their season they eventually won a national championship. Usually we have a wheel, but in the last episode we did have a comment on the last video to do App State, which is one of the teams we have yet to do. So App State, I'm pretty sure they're in the Sun Belt. They are 79 overall, one of the better teams in the Sun Belt as well, but everyone else is close to a 79 overall anyways. But they're a 2-star prestige, which is kind of nice. We are a recruiter head coach as well, and they've been pretty good the last couple of years as well. 13-1 in 2019 and 9-5 in 2023. I can't remember what they did this year. It has been a long time since the season actually went around, so bear with me there. But we'll check out the coaches wise, our coaching abilities. We do have motivator, and we do have it for the running backs and the O-lines. We do have to work on quarterbacks and wide receivers. We do have recruiter. Offensive line is all the way done. DBs, running backs have the weekly recruiting hours, and quarterbacks need one more upgrade there. We also have talent developer, mostly for running backs and O-line. So starting O-line and lower offensive linemen will also progress faster. That's kind of nice to have. Our offense coordinator has recruiter, everything for scouting, and scheme guru, which will definitely help out overall. Our defensive coordinator, I don't know if I'll keep him. We'll decide on that once we get through the season. But checking out our roster wise, we do have an 86 overall left guard. We should be good there. We also have an 83 overall right tackle and 81 corner, but everyone else will be leaving us, especially our quarterback will be gone. We do have two juniors behind him, so hopefully they can stick around. Running back, somewhat decent, especially with Roberts as a redshirt sophomore. Wide receivers need some help. We're losing our top 2 guys. Tight ends, I think we're good for now. We just need to develop our offensive line. Besides guard, we will need offensive guards. Defensive-wise, D-line we need. Linebackers we might be good on, just developing-wise. Corners a need. Safeties, we have a ton of safeties for no reason. At least free safeties. And we don't need a kicker or punter, so we're going to be good there. But anywho, I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up, and I'll see everyone at the end of Season 1 here with App State. And here we are in Season 1 here with App State. We go 7-5 here on the season. We beat FCS start the year, then lost back-to-back, then won back-to-back, then lost 3 in a row, then won 4 in a row. So when we were hot, but when we were cold, we were definitely cold, especially losing 1 point to Georgia State, 3 to Louisiana, 8 to East Carolina. We only lost by 3 to Clemson, too, so it was a pretty decent season for us. And we just had a couple things there, but I feel like we are going to fire our defensive coordinator. He does have motivator, but he really doesn't. He does have it for the defense, but I think we're just going to try to find something a little bit better wise. So we'll keep our offensive coordinator, and of course we're staying on as App State because we got to win a national championship with this team. So we're not going to be moving on anywhere, and hopefully we can get a couple more good players. We do lose a couple strong safeties, but we do level up to level 23 here with our coach. But Dylan Gabriel wins the Heisman Trophy, 3,600 yards, 38 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. We're playing Akron in the Cure Bowl. I forgot we got a bowl game because we had 7 wins. We didn't make the conference championship. I just realized that, I guess, doesn't show the conference standing, so I kind of forgot that part. My B. But Akron is 6-7, and they make it to a bowl game, so good for them. I guess they had 6 wins before the championship, and they lost the championship, so that's why they're under 500, but hopefully we can win. And we do. Pro potential goes up to a C-. Coach prestige, or conference prestige, is also a C-, but we still got 10 players wanting to transfer out, including one of our better players as a corner, so we got to hopefully maybe try to keep him around. But I totally also forgot to hire our coordinator, and we'll have to see who we get because we hired this guy. He's a scheme guru. Sure. I guess we can take a look at him now. because I totally forgot to hire the coordinator. He's the same thing as our offensive coordinator, which I guess is okay, but with defense for recruiter-wise, I guess that's okay. But anywho, that's going to... Oh, I totally forgot. I'm just lost today. I totally forgot to check out the bracket. North Texas, Auburn, Oregon, Utah, and Miami were the automatic qualifiers, with Texas A&M, LSU, Ohio State, UCF, Oklahoma State, and Kansas, Michigan, with Kansas beating Michigan in that game too, as the at-large bids, with Miami. When I get all over Texas A&M, 36-28. So Kansas ended up losing to the national championship winners. Let's go. Oh, look at that, 53-50, 103 points in that game as well. That's pretty good. That's a pretty high-scoring game, but... Anywho, that's going to end Season 1. It is on Season 2 here with App State. And here we are in Season number 2 here with App State. We go 5-7 here in Season number 2. Unfortunately, we did lose to Charlotte to start the year, then beat NC State, and then lost 4 or 5 in a row to Toledo, Boise State, even though we only lost by 2. Marshall by a pretty good penny. Marshall by 3. South Alabama by a pretty good penny. Coastal Carolina, we lost by a lot. We beat Old Dominion, then lost to Louisiana, but then won the last 3 games. So if we would have won one of those games before, we would have had a 500 season, and never know what could happen at that point. But we're not going to make a bowl game here in Season 2, which is a little unfortunate. It's kind of hoping for back-to-back bowl games, but only have 4 people wanting to transfer out. We are an 81 overall, so it's about normal for an 81 to go 5-7. But Cade Klubnik wins the Heisman Trophy, 3,600 yards, 47 touchdowns to 3 interceptions on the season. And, of course, we do not get a bye, so we'll just go ahead and simulate an in-season recap here just to see who wins the national championship here in Season 2 as I try to throw my headset across my desk. Anywho... So coach prestige does go down, so we got a lot more people wanting to transfer up, but pro potential improves and coach stability goes down, which is a little unfortunate, but all in all, it happens when you go a below 500 season. Boise State, Clemson, Ohio State, Texas Tech, and Texas A&M were the automatic qualifiers, with Oregon, USC, Penn State, Kentucky, Georgia, and Oklahoma, Notre Dame as the at-large bids, with USC defeating Oklahoma 46-44 in double overtime, or triple overtime, looks like. And 100 points, or no, 90 points were scored in that game. So, pretty solid game to watch for the national championship. But that's going to end Season 2. It is on Season 3 here with App State. And here we are in Season 3 with App State, where we go 11-1 here on the season and end up ranked 8th in the nation as well. So, you never know. We could actually make it. We aren't only an 84 overall, but only loss was to Charlotte, and they were 10-2 on the season and ranked 15th. Everything else was a win. I mean, we beat Georgia State 31-0. We had a couple close wins there, but if we can win against Louisiana here, we go to the college football playoff. Now, granted, it probably won't happen because we haven't lost since week 3, but you never know. We actually won. We got a lot of people wanting to transfer out, like a lot of people. Not very good. We got 8 players there, and then hopefully coach prestige will move up, so those guys will probably stay. Championship contender went down to an A. Program tradition, though, went up to a B, so that is good. We'll gladly take that. And we win the Sun Belt for the first time here with App State here in Season 3, and we're going to make the college football playoff here in Season 3. So Walker White, who we just got in the transfer portal last season, ends up making us to the college football playoff, or getting us to the college football playoff. He has an 86 overall, but wants to transfer because of playing style. Scrambling quarterback, and we don't really scramble at all. So at least we have TJ Rich, who's a 76 behind him, and hopefully these guys will be good to go after that, higher 70s overall. But we'll have to see how we do here and who we're going to get in the college football playoff. Either we're playing in the first round or we're playing in the second round and having a bye. I'll take a bye, obviously. And hopefully maybe playing styles can get a little bit fixed up. But we are Coach of the Year here in Season 3. And we also got the Coordinator of the Year as one of our defensive coordinators that we didn't even hire ourselves. Ryan wins the Heisman Trophy, 3,600 yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, so good for him. and we'll be taking on Oklahoma in the first round in the college football playoff. So we are going to be the only other team, or with a 5th overall, championship or conference winner. TCU, Georgia, Virginia, and Ohio State with the other ones. And Notre Dame, Clemson, Oklahoma, Texas, Oregon, and Washington, Kansas State are the at-large bids. So this will be a fun one here against Oklahoma. And let's just go ahead and get it started. They're 10-3 on the season, and they're at 89. I mean, we're at 84. I still think we're a couple years away here with App State, but you never know. We could pull off a win somehow, some way, and eventually move on to go play Georgia, and maybe we can beat them, and then you just never know. But we're starting on defense first here in this one, and the defense, well, we started on offense. Why was I thinking we started on defense? But we're down 7-0 after Oklahoma scored, and we tie it up in the second quarter. But Oklahoma retakes the lead 14-7 in that same quarter. Second half now, defense gives up a touchdown and 2 touchdowns in the quarter. I think we're just going to go ahead and go by quarter here. We don't have a chance of winning this game. We are down by 14. We do get a touchdown, and they get one as well, and that's going to do it. That was the dagger right there. And we're going to lose 35-21. That 14-point third quarter really costed us in the game. But I still think Oklahoma was the way better team, and unfortunately it happens to where we're going to lose this one and move on to next season into season 4. But we're going to go ahead and go to the in-season recap here and see how everything does here in season 4 or season 3 and who wins the national championship. But all in all, it was a very good season here from App State, and just unfortunately there's going to be a lot of people wanting to transfer out, which is unfortunately the case. Coach stability goes up to an A+, so really no one wants to transfer out other than Tejada at playing time and playing style with 380 overalls, which won't be good, but we're up to a 3-star prestige now after making the college football playoff. And Georgia ends up winning it all 24-21 over Ohio State in the national championship. But that is going to end season 3. It's on to season 4 here with App State. And here we are in season number 4 here with App State. We go 10-2 here on the season, having to play South Alabama in the Sun Belt Conference Championship again. Again, it was another good season. We lost our first 2 games against FIU and South Carolina, and South Carolina was only by a 3-point game, but then we kind of got destroyed by FIU. But then we won 10 in a row. Charlotte, Boise State, Texas State, Marshall, Coastal Carolina, Southern Miss, Old Dominion, James Madison, Georgia State, and Georgia Southern. So if we can beat South Alabama here, we get to move on to the college football playoff again, and hopefully we can go, not one and done, and hopefully we can have a bye going into this college football playoff. But you never know what can happen, and we did lose, and we are officially out of the college football playoff because we are now ranked 13th in the nation. So, unfortunately, this season is another really good season for us. We were bound to lose at some point. It just happens to be in the conference championship game, which it happens. We are at 85 overall, so I don't think we're going to win it this year, but at least there's another good season. Eli Holstein wins the Heisman Trophy, 2,900 yards, 36 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. We didn't win any awards or anything like that. We'll be playing Louisville in the Birmingham Bowl. So, unfortunately, with us dropping to 13th, again, we're not making the college football playoff, but we can advance the in-season recap here and go from there for next season. So, hopefully, again, we can get some good simulation here. And we did win. Pro potential was up to a C+. Coach stability went down, but coach prestige went up. But we still only got maybe 1 or 2 people wanting to transfer out officially with them being in the yellow. But I don't think that's going to happen per se. But you never know. Why am I in my coaching staff there? Anyways, check out the bracket. Clemson ends up winning it all over USC 35-16 with Arizona, Nebraska, Alabama, Clemson, and Tulsa as the automatic qualifiers, with Pitt, LSU, USC, Rutgers, Wisconsin, and Mississippi State, Stanford as the at-large bids. USC ended up beating, wow, they had a tough one. LSU, Alabama, and Nebraska before playing Clemson. Clemson kind of got pretty easy ones, although Wisconsin's was only a 2-point game. But Stanford, meh, and then, they had to play USC. But anywho, that's going to end season 4. It's on to season 5 here with App State. And here we are in season number 5 here with App State. We go 10-2, having to play Troy in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. They also went 10-2, and we're ranked 13th. They're ranked 15th, so this will be a fun game. We ended up losing to Troy early on this year, and we also lost to Alabama, who both teams went 10-2, and all 3 teams are ranked along with us. But other than that, we won every game besides them. We even beat Texas State, who ended up being ranked 25th. But then we also had a kind of an easier schedule besides those 3 games between Troy, Alabama, and Texas State. So hopefully we can get a win here in the conference championship game, because then we get a bye, hopefully. We can always take a look to see if we get a bye here as well. We'll have to look at top 25 here. So Virginia and Pitt are playing each other, and Arkansas and Alabama are playing each other. So that's good for us, because that knocks out Virginia and Pitt as in the top 10. So that's 1. USC's another one, so that's 2. And that's 3 there with them and Arkansas. And Kansas would be 4. And then we would be 5 if we win this game. So, or unless if Kansas loses, they're out. They probably won't be a bye. They're also 81 overall. Oregon's up there, Michigan, Stanford's 82, and yet they're 9-3. Alabama's 91 overall. Virginia is also an 81, and Pitt is an 82. So pretty much, if we go, we gotta try to avoid Alabama. That's all we gotta do. Just avoid Alabama. But anyways, let's see how the simulation goes, and let's see how everything plays out here in the simulations. We got 418 XP, and we got the win. We are ranked 12th as well, so we barely get in. Championship Contender is up to an A, and Program Tradition is up to a B. Still, Pro Potential is a C+. But we do get the win and the Sun Belt Conference champions here in Season 5. And this will be our second time in the college football playoff. We were one and done in the first time, but hopefully here in the second time we can do a little better of a job and get stuff done, because we are at 87 overall, 89 offense, 87 defense. I'm not going to try to pronounce that last name, but the wide receiver from Virginia wins the Heisman Trophy. 58 catches, 1,000 yards, and 18 touchdowns on the season to win the Heisman. And we're playing Michigan. We are the 12 seed coming into it, so we do advance. Barely, but we do. Virginia, USC, Kansas, Alabama, and us were the automatic qualifiers, with Michigan, Rutgers, Notre Dame, Penn State, Stanford, and Pitt and Oregon as the at-large bid. So we will avoid Bama until the national championship if we can get there. So, but at first, we have to get there, and we have to play the teams in front of us. So let's get this started here against 9-3 Michigan, and they're an 89 overall team. So with a 2-point overall advantage along with home field advantage, we're not looking good. We have to play well. If we don't play well, it's over. It's not going to happen this season. We're starting on offense first. Offense goes nowhere, but then we get a turnover and take a 7-0 lead. But Michigan is threatening here in the second quarter, and they will get a field goal. Second quarter, we get a touchdown, and they tie it up, but we take the lead again. It's 17-10 at the half. And then they get a big play touchdown, but then another turnover, man. These turnovers have really been big because we just got another one. It's 24-17 until we turn it over, but the defense holds. But then, short field here for Michigan. It's a 7-point game. Now it's a tie game. First and goal. We get a touchdown to take the lead with under 2 to go. 4th and 11. They get a first down. They do need a touchdown. There's 15 seconds to go. They didn't get it. And App State pulls off the upset. 31-24. And App State will be moving on. We had the exact same score in the second, third, and fourth quarter, but that one touchdown in the first quarter was huge, because that was the difference here in this one. So we're moving on to play USC, and hopefully that will be another close game. maybe with a little bit more, points on our side. We had 2 pick sixes in that game. That's wild. I did not know we had 2 pick sixes in that game. We can check because that's wild. I don't think I've ever had 2 pick sixes in one game before. But, I mean, we only had 1 passing touchdown. We had 1 rushing touchdown. But we had 3 interceptions on the day. Norwood and Freeman had 2 interceptions for Norwood, who both had 2 touchdowns. So good for him. Notre Dame beat Rutgers, Stanford beat Penn State, and Oregon defeated Pitt. So we'll play USC in the next round, and hopefully again we can get a good offensive team, and hopefully we can get stops on defense. But let's get started here against 11-2 USC. And they're in 89, just like Michigan. But as I said before, defense needs a couple stops. The offense needs to score a couple times for us to win this game. So hopefully we'll do this just like we did against last week against Michigan. We're starting on offense first here. And we go down the field and get a field goal. We get a stop on defense, but unfortunately, our next drive ends in a punt, but it's 3-0 after 1 until USC ties it here in the second quarter. And just for the end of the half, nothing happens. So 3-all at the half. Michigan, or not Michigan, why am I saying Michigan? But USC gets a couple stops, but it's 6-3, but we have a goal to go, and it's a touchdown. It's 10-6 here in the fourth quarter, and then we get a stop. If we can get another first down, which we do, we are in field goal range, so we are now up 7 points. With about to be 2 minutes to go, but they're in our red zone, and the defense gets a stop, and that's gonna... Oh my God, we just threw a pick six. I spoke too soon. But the defense gets a stop. All we now need for the offense is a touchdown, and we get one. We almost blew that game with zeros on the clock. That's wild. I totally thought we just blew the game and they were going to get a touchdown and then we weren't. What happened in the last minute? Fourth quarter. Why are we passing the football on 3rd and 8? Just run the ball. Run the ball and let them go the distance with about 10 seconds left. We didn't need to pass there. Oh my goodness, that almost was the end of the run there for App State. That would have been wild. But, man oh man. Another win is a win. So we're moving on to the semifinals. And are now just 1 win away from a national championship appearance. So hopefully we can get there. But as far as we've gone with App State here. And we'll be playing after once we get through all the Player of the Week awards. We'll be playing Virginia in the Fiesta Bowl. They beat Notre Dame. Stanford defeated Kansas in a 59-45 win. Wow, what a... Stanford put up 45 points in the first half. Kansas put up 21 points in the fourth quarter, but that was already too little too late. Alabama defeated Oregon, and Virginia beat Notre Dame 27-17. So this, again, this will be another tough one here, but we got to play well just like we've done the last 2 games. So let's get it started here against 13-1 Virginia, and they're in 87, just like us, but we have the better offense, but they have the better defense. So both strong sides of these teams will go up against each other, and the 2 weaker sides of these 2 teams will go up against each other as well. But hopefully, our stronger side is better than theirs. And we're starting on defense first here in this one. And the defense gets a stop. The offense scores a touchdown. Another stop by the defense. Another field goal, or this time a field goal by our offense. We're up 10-0. And it's now 10-7 after we turned it over. And it'll be 20-7 at the half. We get a couple big scores before the end of the half. We start with the football. Don't do anything until we get a turnover. It's 23-7. At the end of the third quarter and going in the fourth, we still have the football. We get a couple first downs, and we get a We get a field goal. It's 26-7 with only 3 minutes to go. Another turnover forced by this defense, and the defense has played out of their mind. We allow a big play touchdown, probably with our backups in, and we win 33-14 over Virginia in the Fiesta Bowl, and App State's going to the bowl. They're going to the national championship. Scoring 10 points in every quarter besides the third, when we're the only team to score in that quarter as well. So now, we are just one win away from having another team down and having only 8 more to go after this. I guess still 9, technically. But, you know, it is what it is. But we'll have to see who we have to play against. Obviously, we're going to get the Sun Belt Player of the Week awards because we're the only ones playing. I mean, we did have a guy get 8 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. We playing Alabama in the national championship. As I said before we started, we had to try to not face Bama, and we have to face them in the national championship game because they're going to be a very tough opponent because they are like a 90 overall. So this will be a fun one here. So let's get started here against 13-2 Alabama. And they are 90 overall. So it's another tough team here for App State to try to get another win. But we have to play well. Just like we've done all season long. Just like we've done all playoff run long as well. With these very tough teams that we've had to play against. We're starting on offense first here in this one. And the offense punts. But so does Alabama's both times. Same as us. But zeros after quarter number 1 in second quarter. We get a touchdown for the first points of the game, but Alabama ties it and then gets a turnover to take a 14-10 lead after we get a field goal. So Alabama leads at the half, and then we get a turnover at 17-14 till Alabama scores again. And we are down by down by 4, but we take the lead by 3 after a touchdown. It's a big third down. And we get off the field. And unfortunately, on 3rd down and 22, we came close to a first down, but couldn't get one. But the defense, again, gets another stop, but we go backwards on 3 plays. And now with under 2 minutes, Alabama's going to be throwing the football, and they have a chance to tie, but we block the field goal. And that's going to do it. App State will defeat Alabama on a blocked field goal. I was going to say they're in field goal range and they can easily kick a field goal from here. But App State Special Teams is the hero and will win 24-21 over Alabama. That's another team down. That is unreal. Unreal. I mean, the 2 pick sixes in a game. Then you had the blocked field goal in the national championship game. That's unbelievable. But, of course, we'll check out the stats before we go. Rich had over 3,700 yards, 34 touchdowns to 9 interceptions on the season. Hearns had over 981 rushing yards with 7 touchdowns. Rich added 427 and 4 on the ground. Romero 219 and 6 on the ground as well. Barrett also had 5 rushes, 7 yards, and a touchdown. Receiving wise, Schluter? I butchered that. We're going to go by Chuck. 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns. Barrett had 887 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns. Shrek had 753 and 1. Amador had 535 and 1. George with 190 and 4. And Vaughn with 3 catches, 14 yards, and a touchdown. Defensive-wise, Tam had 86 tackles to lead the team. Charles with 7 tackles for a loss to lead the team. Jackson had 15 sacks to lead the team. Tam and Norwood both had 3 interceptions, and Norwood had those 2 picks in one game, and those were both touchdowns. I know that for sure. We forced 6 fumbles, recovered every single one of them. And, of course, we had 3 blocked kicks in this. We had 2 from Falk and 1 from Farmer. We did not have a safety, but we did have the 2 defensive touchdowns in the one game on the national championship winning season. Alexander did miss 5 from 50, 1 from 40, but made everything else and had 1 extra point blocked. on his freshman season. Punting-wise, we had over 2,500 punt yards. 1 got blocked, 12 inside the 20 and 8 for touchbacks, and no kicker punt return touchdowns in the national championship winning season. But that's going to do it here for the episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, hit that like button down below. It is free. It really helps out the channel. Also, for this week, look out again for multiple 2-team episodes to try to get us just before the start of College Football 26. And then again, start of College Football 26 will probably be that Wednesday, just because I think it comes out Tuesday. So we'll have to see when the next video for that will come out. So look out for that. The wheel will return next episode, but I hoy hope you guys enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.